How many times today did you guys hear, alright guys, take out a pencil and a paper, it's time for a pop quiz. April Fools! April Fool's Day is a holiday that many people celebrate across the world, and there have been plenty of pranks played on everyone today and in the previous years, and maybe you played some of your own pranks, and maybe you got pranked. But have you ever stopped and wondered where April Fool's Day actually began? Now, there's no completely sure origin of this holiday, but there are two really talked about discussions about where this holiday originated from, and today I'll be discussing those two origins as well as telling you about a few of the more famous and more hilarious pranks, mass pranks that occurred in history of April Fool's Day. Now, according to the Museum of Hoaxes, in 1932, Chaucer wrote a Canterbury tale entitled The Nun's Priest Tale. Now, this story is about a sly and sneaky fox who tricks this not so sneaky, not so cunning cock. Now, the reason that this story is thought of to be the origin of April Fool's Day is because of a text that I will now read for you all. It's not in regular English, so please excuse me, but when that the month in which the world began, that high March, when God first made man, was complete and past were also, see March began 30 days and 2. Now, the first half of this excerpt discusses the fact that these people back in this time period actually used the Gregorian calendar rather than our current Julian calendar, which begins January 1st. This calendar began on March 25th. So that would explain the first half of this excerpt, the March, and the last half is what really makes us think that April Fool's Day is April 1st. It says, so March began 30 days and 2. Now, even in the Gregorian calendar, March only had 31 days. So if you add 2 days to 30, it would make it 32. So using your logic, you could see that since there's 31 days, you add one more, that would make it April 1st. And again, because this story is all about cunning and conniving, trickery and foolery, this is one of the origins of April Fool's Day. Now, the second origin is thought to have been in 1582 France, under the ruling of King Charles IX. Now, he adopted the Julian calendar during this year, and in exchange, for the Gregorian calendar, he adopted the Julian calendar. And it's said that this, over the century, people began accepting the Julian calendar, but there was some speculation and skepticism about this calendar, and some people just refused to accept it. And during this time, the French, they threw this huge celebration of bringing in the new year. We have one day, they have 8, an octave. It's said that an octave before the previous calendar's new year, they would actually make fun of the people who did not accept the Julian calendar. They would leave gifts on their door, which is a tradition for the celebration, in joke, mocking them for not accepting the Julian calendar. And this is where that origin idea came from. Now, regardless of which idea you accept, the fact is that there is an April Fool's Day, and it's something that plenty of people participate in, sometimes on a mass scale. One of the most early mentionings of a mass scale April Fool's Day prank occurred in 1860 in London. There was a mass invitation sent out to the citizens, inviting them to an annual washing of the White Lions. Now, I've been to London. This is at the Tower of London, mind you. As I said, I've been to London. I've been to the Tower of London, and I remember a lot of gray stones, a lot of black crows, and a lot of green grass. Not so much white. Apparently, these people didn't see much white that day either. They were told to meet at the White Gates so that they could find the White Lions. Now, there are no White Gates at the Tower of London, so it's just funny to me to think of how long these people, circled the grounds of the Tower of London until they figured out the date. Now, another event that I'm going to share with you occurred in 1915, World War I. A French aviator, actually, he flew over a German military camp, and he dropped this huge, this huge massive object, and Germans, of course, fled for their life. It was a bomb, and until they thought about it, and they realized that they didn't hear an explosion or see anything burning or anything like that, so, they gingerly creeped over to the bomb, and they got a closer look at it, and it was actually just a large football with a note attached to it that said, April Fools. Now, the last event I'm going to share with you actually occurred last year, 2010, April Fool's Day, 2010. And now, I don't know if you guys have Gmail accounts, but, and if you remember this, but according to the Gmail website, they actually were not able to recognize the letter A. Now, and just to be safe, they disabled all of the vowels on their website because of a web server crash, evidently. Now, they also left with their statement this: we're still investigating whether the letter Y is impacted, and we'll post an update here shortly. Now, if you didn't figure out that that's an April Fool's Day joke, I don't know what will get you. Now, that's going to be the last event that I'm going to share with you, and I'm just going to discuss with you again the calendar theory or the Canterbury Tales. No one knows which one is actually true, but the fact is that, April Fool's Day does happen, and it's something that everyone should really think about celebrating, accept the joke and have fun. So thank you for listening. My name is Celeste, and thank you.